Okay, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tirado. Welcome back to the Next Level Fear Show. So, I'm going to share this conversation that I had today with an individual who is just starting to work out again. You know, he's relatively new at it, and he's seeking advice when it comes to training routines and dieting and all that good stuff. So, it's going to be a pretty interesting conversation. I'm sure a lot of you may identify with it. A lot of you may have the same exact question. So you may want to sit in and sit back and just listen to how it all went down. I think it'd be pretty helpful. All right. So let's get right into it. I mean, here's what I'm thinking. If you're gonna have like because right now you're doing 2 body parts a day, right?
Right.
All right. So and how old are you? How old are you right now?
38, about to be 39 in July.
Okay, so see the question is, how do you feel? Like, how do you feel right now doing 2 body parts a day?
Honestly, so I feel like my muscles get worn out, but I also do feel what you were saying about the tired, like being tired. So let's say like by the time I get to but the back exercises when I do bent over rows, it's not because I do for my back I do bent over rows and then I do what's it called? When you do the shoulder shrug thing for my rhomboids.
You mean so your shoulder shrugs for your traps?
Yeah, my traps, yeah.
So I mean, but how do you feel though physically when in terms of like you recovering? How do you feel?
No, I feel good. I feel really good.
So you feel really good, like like your muscles are completely healed 3 days later, where you can go back and you can train that muscle again.
Yeah, 2 or 3 days later, yeah.
All right, so then I mean I don't know. So why would you want to change it if you're feeling good? Because being able to
hear what you said. So I was hearing what you said about the focus on the muscle and the age and how what I'm doing. Because the thing is, I'm not feeling like my muscles are growing the way I want them to.
Okay, and I told you, like, the reason why I would say guys that are in their mid 30s, 40s, and all that stuff, it's just not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen the way people think, and I think that's where a lot of guys will get discouraged and ultimately stop working out because they still think they're in their 20s.
Right, and that's how I feel. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't feel what everybody tells me about, oh, I feel old and this and that. I still feel young. I still feel like how I always felt since I was in my 20s.
The problem there is there's going to be, so you're going to experience growth because it's not like you were training, I would say in your 20s. You weren't really working out in your 20s like that. You were doing maybe some calisthenics here and there, but it's not like you were in the gym 5 or 6 days out of the week getting busy, right? So
2016 was the beginning of me even taking working out seriously. Fell off, and then now I'm back to it. Like as of these times, I've been on and off, but now I'm like back to it consistently.
So when in 2016, when you started, how long were you consistent?
For 2 years. So after the breakup with Tess, that's when I started.
Okay.
Taking that anabolic shit, I was taking that powder shit, told me to stay away from that. And what happened was I was like, for 2 years, I was working out. I seen the difference. I lost my weight. My stomach was flat. I lost my love handles and my arms was bigger and people would notice it. Like, yo, you get big, son, like in the arms, son. You looking fit. And I seen my six pack forming. My shoulders was bigger. My chest was bigger. My back was bigger. And my waist was slim.
All right. So that was 8 years ago, right?
Right. And then what happened was, because remember I was working out for the wrong reasons. My inspiration was, let's just be real, I was trying to get Tessa back. And I was thinking that me following that no core rule and working out and then posting pictures when we were still friends on Facebook. And then you warned me about that. He was like, don't do that. Because I remember the conversation you said, because women, that if you do it too much, women are going to know it. They're going to feel it. Like, they're going to kind of, it's going to be obvious that, oh, you wasn't posting these kind of pictures before. Now you're doing it now. So, and Tessa ain't done. So, yeah, he was right. So, then after that, when it did work out and she was still saying no, that was when I went into depression mode and I went back to eating like an idiot and not working out. And then you told me, and then I told you about the anabolic thing. You said, yeah, that eats at the muscles. So I lost all my muscles.
Right. So the problem here is now this is 8 years later, right? The body is going to change completely, especially if you're not eating right, especially if you're not, if you gain too much weight and let's just say you put on too much fat, the body is just going to change. And right now, I told you before, I said the best thing you can go do is get that simple blood test and check your markers and see where you are. Check your testosterone levels, everything, just so that way you have an idea of what you're working with. You can be at an extremely high testosterone level, but your free test may not be as high as you think, what's available, right? Versus you can be at let's just say a lower testosterone level and you can have more available testosterone flowing through your body. And from what I understand, the more free tests you have, the better it is. So number one, I think it's important that you do that. I think it's important that everybody does it, and I think that's the way to go. But
I'll get right on it ASAP.
yeah, and it's simple, man. I mean, all it is just a blood test. You schedule an appointment with your doctor. He's gonna ask you a few questions, and then you'll just let him know. Listen, I'm starting to work out again. I'm starting to eat right. I want to change my life physically, mentally, and all that good stuff. And I'm trying to get busy, right? So he'll just send you to one of these quick lab blood test places where you'll go and they'll do it. It literally takes 5 minutes, and that's it. But go moving forward, like right now, if you're telling me that you're doing 2 body parts a week and you still feel good, then you got to ask yourself and be honest with yourself and say this: are you training as hard as you can with each muscle group? No, that was a question.
No, I feel sore. Like, for example, Wednesday, my leg, like all the time, like I feel sore after I'm done. So that means I'm doing something.
Okay, so now that's legs. Now, what about everything else?
Everything else except for my chest. So I think I was watching a video about that because every time I do bench presses, I feel like I'm putting an overload on my front deltoids because on that day I'm doing shoulders and chest. So I think I might have to separate that. I was thinking about reversing it if I'm going to continue to do 2 major muscle groups a day. I would probably switch it with my arm, like how I have arms and back. I would probably do arms and chest, and then do back and shoulders. That's what I think I'm gonna do. So I'm not putting too much overload, and then that will probably cause injury. I'm trying to avoid that. So I feel sore, super sore on my shoulders because I'm doing shoulders and chest. To where my shoulders are like, but I don't feel my chest being overloaded. So I watched the video, and what I'm doing wrong when I'm doing bench presses, to where I'm feeling all of that on my shoulders. I know about the keeping your like arching your back and tightening your core and keeping your shoulders back. I know about that, but what I did not notice is, and then what I did not know that I was doing wrong was when you're doing, and correct me if I'm right or wrong, because remember, I'm getting this from a video, so you would be my second opinion, or my first opinion, or whatever, but you'll be another opinion. But or basically somebody who's knowledgeable, so this will be facts. This would be an opinion. So let's say like I'm doing my bench presses, I have to squeeze my chest, right? When I'm lifting up.
Correct.
Also, what I was doing also wrong, I was bringing let's say like I have my dumbbells up, right? I was supposed to bring it lower to where it's like when I'm bringing it down, it's like below my chest, right? When I'm doing flat bench presses. And then when I'm doing, because I have the bench, so when I'm doing, what's it called, elevated bench presses, that works out more of the upper chest area, right?
You mean incline bench, right?
Incline, yeah, incline. There we go.
Okay, so let me stop you here. Are you in a gym or are you still training at home?
I'm still training at home.
Okay, and you got dumbbells or do you have the barbell?
I have everything I need. I don't need a gym. I have dumbbells that turn into barbells.
All right, good. Okay, so I would say this. Let's take it one step at a time and go back for 1 second, because I really want to focus on whether it's beneficial for you to continue doing 2 body parts a day versus 1 body part a day, right? And the reason why I say that is because you may have maybe more time to actually train to failure versus, I'm going to say, just half-assing your training and just going through the motions, and you're trying to hit it twice a week. So yeah, we understand that hitting it twice a week is beneficial, right? You're training that same muscle group twice as hard in 1 year. So the chances of growth are going to be there. But if you're not training to failure and you're not giving it all you got, then you could just be going through the motions.
I feel like that's what I'm doing. So, and to answer your question, so this is what's going on. So because of my work schedule, because I'm trying to get the 8 hours of sleep, because I'm trying to eat, there's a lot of things where it's like, I feel like I'm on a timer. So I feel like, because what I'm also doing is I'm doing calisthenics. I feel like maybe I might have to either maybe minus that out there, because I'm doing calisthenics. And so basically my warm up is this. Let me just give you a walkthrough, right? After, now my schedule for now is 3 to 11. So now I work out in the mornings, right? So when I wake up, I come home, I make it home by 12. As soon as I come home, I go to sleep. I knock out. I do the 8 hours. As soon as I wake up, I make my coffee. I make my 4 eggs and some spinach with cucumber and maybe an orange.
Let me stop you right there. So the question is this. We can nip that in the butt just by answering the simple question. Are you losing weight?
Yeah, no, I see it, yeah.
All right. Where did you start from and where are you at now in terms of weight?
I started from 196 and now I'm at 170. Well, at first it was at 174, and then I had some popcorn chicken and fries on the weekend that passed last week. And then when I went on the scale, it went up like 2 more pounds.
Yeah, that's not a big deal. I mean, that's nothing. That's just water weight. But you went from 197 to 176?
Yeah, 176, 174. Well, now I'm at 176, so now I'm trying to bring it down. I didn't check my weight ever since that Monday I checked it.
How long did that take for you to lose 21 pounds?
It didn't take me long.
I mean, give me a time frame. Was it a couple of weeks? Like
probably like 2 or 3 weeks.
So you lost 10 pounds a week?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. 10 pounds in a week is nuts.
No, because what I was doing was a lot of cardio.
Right.
I walk around a lot.
That's too much, bro. That's way too much. 10 pounds a week is out of control.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why, I'm not. And then I was fasting, and then that's why I think that I'm not gaining any muscle.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, all right, let's take this slow because we'll get back to that in a second. So, getting to 1 pound, You should be losing 1 pound you should be losing 1 pound a week, not 10 pounds a week.
No, not 10 pounds a week. I said I got down to that in 3 weeks.
All right, even it doesn't matter. It's still 21 pounds in 3 weeks. So you're looking at 7 pounds a week. That's insane. So no wonder why you're going to feel like shit. 7 pounds a week. Listen, I'll be honest. A lot of it is water at first. If you're cutting out carbs and you're fasting and you're walking and you're doing all that stuff, it's going to be water. You're not really touching the fat just yet. So you're basically eliminating a lot of the glycogen from within your muscle, right? That's the first thing to go as soon as you start cutting carbs and sugars and all that stuff, and you start cutting your just basically your overall calories. You don't want to lose weight that fast, bro. I'm telling you. You want to keep it to 1 pound a week, maybe maximum 1.5 pounds a week. That's it. Because if you're out here trying to lose 7 pounds a week, 5 pounds a week even, you're going to be taken away from muscle, man. And whatever muscle you work for, you're going to start stripping that away. And what's going to wind up happening is you're going to wind up looking like a skinnier, fatter person of yourself. You're not going to keep the muscle tone. You're just going to be a smaller, fat person. So,
what now?
So I would say, you know, you gotta start over when it comes to how you want to manage your weight loss, because the reason why you go into these, you know, these binge eating modes, let's just say, right? You'll just tear up the food is because you're limiting yourself so much throughout the week that it's just insane. You know, your body can't handle it. So your body's like, yo, I want to eat and I want to eat now. And then you go on these binges and you wind up gaining 2 or 3 pounds of water, like, you know, the following day. You want to keep it so that way you're losing weight slowly, but keeping all the muscle that you work for. So we'll go through that, you know, later on. But as far as now, man, right now, focusing on this, you know, this bro split, which is, you know, this 2 body parts a day versus one body part a day. I would say, like I said before, in my case, I could only do 1 body part a day, but just because of the recovery. And that's because I'm training to failure. I'm making sure that I'm hitting that one muscle. I'm trying to destroy it. But at my, you know, with my, how would I say it? In my experience, right, with working out and training, I know how to get there, right? I've been doing it for so long that my muscles already have that memory. They already understand, okay, this is how hard we're going to go. So I don't get that sore feeling as much anymore. I'm chasing what you get. You know, whenever you get those sore legs where you can barely sit on a toilet bowl, that's what I'm chasing. So for me, I have to push it harder. And sometimes I can't push it hard because I don't have a spotter. I train at home too, and I'm working out by myself.
Yeah, you gotta be safe. That's another thing.
Correct.
That's why and I'm aware of that too. That's why that's why at home, the most pounds I have, honestly, at 30. Like each dumbbell is 30.
Okay, so that's my point. So my point is this: it doesn't really matter, you know, what your dumbbell weight is, right? What matters is how many reps are you doing, and are you doing it to failure? Meaning you're not leaving any reps in reserve, you know? So let's just say you can get 15 dumbbell presses. If you could only get 15 dumbbell presses and you're struggling on the 15th rep, like you can barely get that up, that's when you're training to failure.
Right, yeah, no, I be getting that.
Okay.
But then there's times where I'm not sore, like as if, like, you know what I mean? But I'll get to failure, but I'm not sore until I go to sleep, and then I wake up, and then I feel the soreness.
All right, that's perfect. That's fine. That's fine. So if you're doing that and you're recovering in 3 days, and then you're going back to hitting chest and arms again, and you feel like you're good, your chest is not sore, your triceps are not sore, your buys are not sore, then I would say keep doing what you're doing. Honestly, because if your muscles are recovering that fast, that means you're just going to grow. You're going to continue to grow. However, you're not going to grow if your sleeping is off, right? And you're not going to grow if your diet is off. Like you got to really focus on your diet and you got to focus on your sleep. Try to minimize your stress like we talked about before, and that's it. But
I was going to ask you this, right? The reason why I kind of feel like that's actually a good technique what you're doing, even though I've read that it's always good to do at least 2 muscle groups. But I know that sometimes that can always be capped. It all depends on the person.
Correct.
I feel like that would actually make sense for me to do. This is the reason why. Because I'm so pressed for time, right? At most of the times, right? I feel like if I focus on one muscle group, I have enough time to put more work into that muscle group. Because I feel that where I get to failure is because I'm working on another muscle group that when I'm working out this, I'm getting to failure because I'm incorporating that in the muscle group. So I feel like I'm not really, like, for example, what I told you about when I do shoulders and chest. When I go to my chest, because I already worked out my shoulders, right, already, and I go to chest, I feel like I'm putting more, because I do my dumbbell raises. I know I might as well minus that out because I'm doing bench presses, right? But I really do like dumbbell raises. There's something about it. I just feel comfortable with it. I like it. I actually enjoy the exercise, right? I don't have a problem minusing it, but I just feel like, when I do chest and shoulders, I'm overloading my chest. I'm overloading my shoulders, but I'm not really getting to work out my chest, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. So here's what I would suggest. So this is why I personally think that when you're young, when you're 15 through, let's just say 15 through 25, even 15 through 30, I would say doing a bro split, training the muscle group twice a day is going to be in your best interest because you're an animal, man. You're like a walking testosterone lab. All right. Your testosterone levels are super elevated and you should be in your prime during those years versus when you're my age, 50 plus, 40s, even your late 30s. I'm going to say that the second muscle group that you train, you're not going to be able to hit that muscle group as hard as you think because you're going to be gassed already from doing a major muscle group, let's just say like chest. If you start off doing chest, how hard are you really hitting bis and tris? Not that hard. So you couple that with the fact that maybe your energies are low just because, your age is up there. Maybe you're not in the best shape as you think, right? I would say, in my opinion, the guys that are in their late 30s and they're jacked to the gills at, sub 10% body fat, those individuals, they're enhanced. And when you know what I mean by enhanced, those guys are taking steroids.
Of course.
So for the natural guys, I would say keep it to one body part a day, train each muscle group, chest, legs, arms, shoulders, back. You rest one day and then you repeat it. I think for me, man, that's just the best way to go for somebody who's natural. Because at the end of the day, man, it's really about, longevity, taking this shit all the way until you're in your late 60s, early 70s, and still being able to function. That's my mindset. My mindset is being able to, still be strong and not have anything impede my life when I'm in my 70s, man. Like that's what I'm training for right now. I'm training to stay fit throughout those years. I'm not training to get jacked. I'll be 52 this year, man. I'm not training to get jacked. I'm training to maintain whatever muscle I currently have because it's a downward slope, man, after 40. You're not growing muscle the way you think you are unless you're on TRT, taking steroids. You know,
so like, let's say like I decide to do the one muscle group a day, right? Do I increase? Because all right, for example, let's say like I was doing the bro split, right?
go ahead.
Let's say like when I do my shoulders and my chest, right? I'll do 3 or 4 sets of, let's say like 12. I'll do between like sometimes 10.
Well, let me stop you right there. If you're doing 10, you're probably not doing enough. I'm always going to say you got to be under that weight for 45 seconds minimum. Minimum. So you can do 10 reps in 10 seconds. That's not enough, man.
No, I do the slow thing. So basically what I do is I don't do the fast shit. I don't.
Okay, so if you don't do the fast shit, then it doesn't matter how many reps you're doing because you're staying under that weight for a minimum of 45 seconds. So it doesn't matter. If you did 10 reps, then that means each rep should be taking you 5 seconds to do. That'd bring you to 50 seconds per set. All right. Now, in terms of sets, how many exercises I should do, how many sets I should do, I'm going to tell you right now, if we were doing chest today and I decided to say, hey, let's just spam push-ups. Okay. I want to do 4 sets, max out my push-up game. You would not be able to do any other exercises after those push-ups because you would have maxed out your reps by going to failure every single set and your chest would be blasted. So when people say, oh, well, how many, what are the variations I should do with chest? What are the variations I should do with, arms? And it's not about that, man. It's about feeling that stimulation, getting that maximum pump with anything that you do. I'll always resort back to the guys that are in prison. A lot of these guys are just doing basic exercises, but these guys are going to failure. When these guys are doing 100 push-ups a set, sometimes more, 25, 30 chins a set. In 4 sets, these guys are blasted. These guys are done. That's the objective, to always try to do more with every time you perform that exercise. And that's why sticking to one body part a week will give that body part enough time to rest for the entire week after you hit it.
So let's say like I do one body part a day. Because now I'm not doing it. It's not like I'm doing it twice a week. Right?
Okay.
Let's say like I do like my arms once a week, et cetera, right?
Right.
I would have to increase, of course, my reps and my sets, right?
Well, no, you're not gonna increase your sets. Your sets are going to be determined based on, honestly, how much you kill each muscle group. Because again, I'll use the same example. If we're doing legs on Monday, and I said to you, hey, we're just going to do squats. I want to get 25 repetitions each set, but we're not doing less than 15. So we'll start off a little bit lighter than normal. And then after that, we'll gradually increase the weight. By the time you're done with 4 sets, your quads are going to explode. When I tell you, you're not going to have enough energy to do anything else. You're not going to need to do anything else. And you're not going to need to do anything else is because you gave it all you got in squats. It's not about, honestly, man, it's not about just the variations of trying to spam variations. It has nothing to do with that. If I'm doing legs, I'm doing 3 exercises or 4 exercises like I told you. Leg extensions, leg curls, squats, and stiff-legged deadlifts. That's it. That's pretty much all I got to say about that. It's not about, I honestly think you're confusing yourself by by thinking that you have to do more variations and different types of exercises versus giving more intensity to each set that you do, if that makes any sense.
All right, so I think I understand what you're saying. So let's say like I'm doing arms, right? Just arms, meaning my whole arms. I could do my triceps, my biceps.
Well, first of all, let's just talk about one muscle group. If you're doing biceps, right? Now go ahead, continue. You're doing biceps. Say what you're going to say.
But before I continue, right? When you say like, let's say like one day, basically like, let's say like I work out my arms. That means my entire arm, right? On arms day, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now, boom, I do my biceps, right? Let's say I do. I start off warming up my muscles with curls, like what you call it, pull-ups. What's it called? Chin-ups. I do some chin-ups, right? Boom. And then after that, I do like, let's say 4 sets of chin-ups, 20 each, whatever, right? Or 25, so I can get that 100, right? And then I'm still good. I'm good. I'm ready to continue.
Stop right there. Stop. That means if you're still good, you did not give it all you can on pull-ups. You're not understanding the simple logic here.
All right, so all I need to do is basically, let's say like I choose to do calisthenics and I choose to do pull-ups, right? And I'm saying, all right, I want to target my biceps right now. Even though the pull-up, I'm going to work out also my back too, right? But let's say like I want to target my biceps. You mean to tell me that once I do that one exercise till failure, and I feel that just do it till failure, I'm good. I'm done with my biceps.
You are completely done with your biceps. There's no reason for you to continue doing other exercises because you're not going to be able to perform that exercise at your best.
I see what you're saying. Now, do you recommend, like, let's say, like, all right.
So here's the logic to it. Mm-hmm. And this is the stupidity that a lot of people make. It's just dumb. If you're starting off, I'll use chest as an example. You're starting off your first set and you do 12 reps. You put on more weight, you do 10 reps. You put on more weight on your third set, you do 8 reps. You put on more weight on your fourth set, you put on more weight and you're doing 6 reps. So you went from 12, 10, 8, 6.
The heavier you put, the lesser your reps should be.
So how does that make any sense? I want you to envision the math here.
No, I understand your analogy.
It's not an analogy. Why are you putting more weight to do less reps? Why would you do that?
No, you're right.
So you're not staying under tension. You're not keeping that muscle under tension for the same amount of time. The point of building muscle is to keep that tension on the muscle and progressively overload the muscle. So what does that mean? What does that mean, right? That means that if I could only do 100 pounds on a bench press for 15 repetitions, I'm not going to put more weight on that bar until I can get 16 repetitions. So when I get 16 repetitions, maybe I'll add 2 pounds on each side, 2.5 pounds, totaling 5 extra pounds. And then I'll try it again and I'll say, okay, now let me see if I can get 15 with 105. If I can get 15 with 105, then that means I got stronger, which means I probably added more lean muscle tissue onto my chest.
I understand. Now I understand what you're saying, right? So Now let's say like in calisthenics. So what I would do is I would do maybe, let's say, 10 pull-ups. Do it, do 10. Then increase it to 20 in my next one. Then so on.
No. You don't understand what I'm saying. That's crazy. Listen to me. How are you only doing 10 chin-ups when you can do 20 on your next set? How does that make sense? How are you growing muscle?
Right. All right. So, all right. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. All right. Well, no, I am saying it wrong. Not maybe. But all right. Let's say like, all right, what about this? Let's say like I go fast, right? But then on my next set, I go slow. I do the slow one. You know what I mean? Like pause and then go down slow, right? Would that be kind of like the same thing with the weight increase that you're saying? I understand the weight part. What I'm saying is, let's say like if I wanted to just do calisthenics, because I understand that calisthenics builds strength, lifting weights builds muscle, right?
No. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's weights or calisthenics. It doesn't matter. What matters is if you're making the exercises harder as you get stronger, right? So what you just asked before was if I do 10 sets, 10 repetitions with chin-ups now, my first set, and then my second set, I slow down the reps. That means absolutely nothing. It doesn't mean anything. What you have to understand is your first set, go to failure. Your second set, go to failure. Your third set and fourth set, you go to failure. You go to failure all the time until you can no longer move, until you have blasted that muscle. And you don't lower the reps. You only lower the reps when your body says, I have enough, I give up. So if you're doing any sort of exercise, I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter if it's push-ups, chin-ups, calisthenics, weights, it doesn't matter. You're going to go to failure. Now, I'm not saying for you to perform, a bench press and do 100 repetitions. I'm not saying that either, because then that weight is too light. What I'm saying is that you want to keep those repetitions, I would say, within the 15 to 25 rep range. The stronger you get with 100 pounds, if you can do more than 25 repetitions with 100 pounds on a bench press, it is time to add more weight.
Got you.
And do you understand what I'm saying? And if let's just say you don't have money to buy more weight, then what I would do is this. I would start making it more difficult by slowing down the repetitions to the point where it's taking me maybe 6 or 7 seconds to do each rep.
Got you. All right, so now in calisthenics, I could put a weight vest on.
It don't matter what you do. If you can do more than 30 chins or pull-ups on a bar, then I would say it's time to add more weight. But if you can't do more than 20 or 30 pull-ups or chin-ups on a bar, then you still have work to do.
Right.
If you could do more than, obviously, if you can do more than 30 push-ups, then I would start putting a weight vest on to make it harder. Or I would do variations where the variations, maybe my hands are a bit wider. Maybe I have my legs up on a chair behind me and I'm on an incline or decline, just to make things harder for me. So that way I can't get more than 30 repetitions. So I'm going to do whatever I can to make shit hard to the point where I can no longer do 30 reps doing it this way.
Got you.
Does that make sense? Like, honestly, does that make sense to you now?
It does.
Like, it doesn't matter what you do, what exercise you do. Don't go up in weight if you can't do more than 25 reps with perfect form. I mean perfect form. I'm not talking about cheating and moving your entire body just to get the bar up when you're doing bicep curls.
No, I know what you mean.
I'm talking strict form. Can you do more than 30 reps with 100 pounds? If not, lower the weight. Stop ego lifting.
Got you.
That's how you're going to get bigger. That's how you're going to get stronger. That's how you're going to add more lean muscle tissue onto your frame, to be honest, man. You know how many people don't know that? Like I said before, powerlifting and bodybuilding are two separate animals, man. Bodybuilding is, I want to say, time and attention, definitely much lighter weight, and using correct form. Whereas powerlifting is a lot of technique, explosive power for shorter periods of time. You're only doing 4 to 6 reps, max. That's powerlifting. Now, you're not going to grow as much as you would powerlifting versus bodybuilding. You'll grow less with powerlifting than you would with bodybuilding. Like here's why. A guy that competes in the Olympics that's, let's just say, 200 pounds. He's trying to break the world record in squatting or deadlifts. He's trying to lift 850-pound deadlifts, right?
Yeah.
But he can't come in above 200 pounds in weight, because if he does, he'd be disqualified. So how does a powerlifter get stronger without getting bigger, without increasing his weight size? It's simple. No, it's not steroids, because steroids would make him bigger, right? It's technique.
Oh, gotcha.
It's technique. It's learning how to lift that weight without at the same body weight. It's all technique. It's power. It's explosive. But he's not under tension. His muscles are not under tension the way you would be if you were bodybuilding, you were hypertrophy training. So, I hope some of that makes sense, man.
A lot of it does. I get it. It does make sense. It's just that at first I was thinking I could do the same idea with the calisthenics, but then I'm looking at it wrong. With calisthenics, I should just be increasing the amount of reps that I'm doing.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So your first set of push-ups.
Yeah, I was thinking too deep into it. That's what.
Yeah, absolutely.
Staying with the weightlifting part. But then I thought that also, do I do that too with the calisthenics? But then I'm like, and that's what it was going over my head. And I'm like, nah, like it's common sense. Just increase the amount of pull-ups that you do or amount of push-ups that you do.
That's it. So again, I'll keep it simple. It doesn't matter what you do, right? It doesn't matter what you do. If you can get more than 25 repetitions on anything you do, then it is time to either slow down the weight, right? Slow down that repetition. Make sure you're doing it correctly. Make sure you're doing it with quick, proper form, or add some weight on to that bar. And I'm not talking, you don't got to add 10 pounds on each side. 2.5 pounds on each side is going to be more than enough, because you're not going to be able to do 30 reps or 25 reps when you add 5 pounds on there.
Right. It's like how they say with push-ups, right? When you do incline push-ups, it's more challenging.
Absolutely.
So then that would be it'll make it more difficult. That would be basically equivalent to adding a weight on weights when you're lifting weights.
Correct.
The same thing if you're doing pike push-ups.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do.
No, I'm just saying, like the pike push-ups, how there's different variations to it, where there's the more intense ones that are for more advanced.
Yeah.
You know, to add more intensity and put more of a load on the muscles.
Correct.
Yeah, I get it. All right, well, I'll get to it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish this week with the bro split, and then I'm gonna try next week to see how I feel. I'll probably do for like 2 or 3 weeks. I'll try the one muscle group, experiment with it, and see how I feel, and then I'll determine, like, you know, okay, which one makes me feel like I'm getting, you know, I'm feeling. I want to see which one feels better, you know?
Right.
Which one feels like I feel like I'm gaining more.
Right.
At the rate that I want, or that I feel like, okay, I can feel this, you know, like which one feels better. Whichever one feels better, that's the one I'll go with.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, man. And I guarantee you, I think you'll see more gains. Definitely, I think you'll see more gains because hitting one body part a week, you know, one body part a day, and you know, maybe having 1 or 2 rest days, depending on how you feel. I only need 1 rest day. I'm telling you right now, like for me, it works. For me, you know.
You do the 6th day. You repeat a workout?
So I do 5 days. It takes me 5 days to do my complete body. I rest 1 day and then I start back again on the 7th day. So one muscle group is being worked twice in 1 week, and it will rotate.
You're doing a rotation.
Correct.
Right. So like on the 7th day, it might be the shoulders. Then the next week you'll do your 5 body groups, and then on that 7th day it might be your arms.
Absolutely.
Got you.
Yes. Now you got it.
I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna do my arms and back today. That's gonna be my life, just to finish the bro split, so I feel, you know, like I completed it. And then next week I'm gonna try it, and then I'll let you know in 3 weeks what I think about it, if I how I feel.
Okay.
I've been doing the bro split long enough to already like be able to take a break from that and do something else. So I already know how I feel with the bro split.
Right.
So I want to give it like, you know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Like I'll give it a month with I'll do that. I'll give it more time to see if I feel and see results. And then I could give you like a solid review of what I personally think for me, if it works. And then I'll just follow the eating routine and sleeping better and whatnot. And you told me once a week if I'm gonna do, because that's what I did. I had the popcorn chicken and a Diet Coke. Even though I still, you know, treated myself, I still didn't go crazy. You know what I mean? It was just a box. It wasn't even crazy. It was just a little bit of popcorn chicken. So that was my treat day for the week.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's it. Once you have that, that's it. I did that. So that means this weekend I can't have shit because I already spent my treat, my little treat token on Wednesday.
That's why you got to choose your cheat meals wisely.
Yeah, I know. Because then we come over there Saturday, I might be eating and serving tacos. Now let me ask you this. Let's say like y'all do like, or like when me and them come back, let's say like we don't eat nothing crazy over there, right? And because more than likely, I'm sure you're gonna serve something healthy that's gonna be good, that's gonna be beneficial for me. And Jennifer works out, so then that'll be beneficial for her, and the rest of her friends work out too. So let's say me and them were to go out to dinner once we're done over there, and we stop by or whatever, and I decide to get a sandwich. That means all next week I cannot do that, and then all next week I cannot treat myself to nothing because I kind of did too. Is that possible?
No, it's not.
All right, so then I gotta have to fight it then. I'm gonna have to say no.
That's what it's called, being accountable and you know, staying focused and staying focused on your diet. That's why if, you know, had you already knew that this was going to happen, you should have planned it so that way your cheat meal could have been on Saturday.
Right. I'll just stick to a chicken salad if we go out. No dressing.
Whatever you do, yeah, it's on, that's on you, man.
All right, brother. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.